Well, good morning, everyone. This road might look a little familiar. Rode on this road on one of my other videos. I think it was a typical Saturday morning drive one. But at any rate, I was going through a bunch of YouTube videos this past week, and I noticed a lot of people ask the question, or have been asked the question, as well as I've been asked the question, of why I actually ride a motorcycle. I started a lot later in life. I'm not one of those people that started riding when I was a kid. I'm 44, and started riding about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. And I've always wanted to do it, but I never actually, I don't want to say didn't have the nerve to do it. But I didn't want to spend the money on a bike, and then all of a sudden it'd sit there in the summer and not do anything, But at the same time, it was always in the back of my head to actually get on a bike, learn how to ride a bike and everything else. Well, those of you that live in California know what the gas prices are like out here. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And my regular to and from work is a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500 with the 5.9 liter engine. And the problem with it is, in terms of gas mileage, it's like putting $25-30 at least in the tank every week just to drive 12 miles to and from work. A total of 12 miles a day. It was getting ridiculous. And I said, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get my license. Took the class, and finally got my license. And for me, in the beginning, it was basically doing it for the fuel mileage. Now, I know some of you are probably asking, well, wait a minute. If you did it for fuel mileage, why did you get such a big bike to begin with? And that'll be set up for another video altogether. But, anything past 8 miles to the gallon, it's going to save me quite a bit of money, no matter how I looked at it. And so I wanted something, that I was going to get better mileage, but I didn't want a Prius. And some of you may know I'm a high school teacher, and my students were saying, oh, well, you're going through a midlife crisis. Well, that wasn't it. It was, for me, the primary reason was to actually save gas, period, end of story. But after I bought my Victory, and I'll explain why in that other video as to why I chose the Victory over anything else. Once I bought it, it was the enjoyment now. It now changed not only for the gas mileage, but also for the enjoyment of it. I understand now completely, within reason, with the short amount of time I've been on a bike, I understand why people do it. And it's funny because my dad was scared to death of me doing it, yet my mom, on the other hand, was okay with it, and she used to ride a Triumph when she was younger. And I know she mentioned to me that she wanted an Aprilia at one point in time in her life, and she understood it. And the fact that I don't have somebody as a backseat driver, it's absolutely wonderful. And to get out, like, first thing in the morning, like right now, is just absolutely, gorgeous to actually look at the sky and, just relax and, not have to worry about anything else. It's absolutely amazing. And, even these guys on the sport bikes, I don't have problems with them, even though I've heard some people say, oh, well, the sport bikes versus the guys on the cruisers, different respect. They're not. I've never had a problem with them here. Some of them can be a little bit on the rude a-hole side, but 99% of them, I have never had a problem with it. but that's getting onto a different topic. But I do it. Mainly, I originally did it for the gas mileage. Now that's kind of changed to not only do I have the gas mileage, but I have the comfort, the relaxation, a stress relief, the whole 9 yards, and I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, just from a health standpoint, other than the fact that, if you're not paying attention and you're acting like an idiot, you can get killed doing things. But, for the most part, for as long as you're cautious and you know what you're doing and, you don't have to worry about anything and you're not acting like an asshole, it's so peaceful and, and for the most part, you can get killed on a car for crying out loud. I can get killed on riding a bicycle, you can get killed just walking in the middle of the street. So I kind of take that out of the equation altogether because you can get killed at any point in time, and it doesn't have to be on a motorcycle. But, like I said, my main reason was originally for gas mileage, and, I've gotten as much as, 50 miles to the gallon on the highway on this thing, and I've gotten, I think, as little as, doing little roads like this, I think I've gotten as little as, 30 miles to the gallon on average, so that's not too bad, considering riding a truck, and I'm getting 8 miles to the gallon, and if I'm lucky, once I get on the highway, I might be able to squeeze 17 miles a gallon. So, this is just, complete enjoyment. All the other stuff is, kind of at this point, the icing on the cake, I guess you could say. So, just to recap real quick, I don't want to drag this video out too long, but, originally it was for the gas mileage. Now, it's the enjoyment, it's the relaxation, and it's the gas mileage, and, it's the community. I've never had, any problems with the community, people on the sport bikes, never had a problem with them, never had a problem with the Harley guys, never had a problem with anybody, I mean, and it's been a wonderful experience, riding this thing over the past year, almost a year and a half, and I don't think I would trade it for the world, I now only wish that I had started riding a lot earlier and, wasn't afraid of it. I mean, I guess you could say I was afraid of it, but I think it was more of I didn't want to spend the money and, have the bike sit there all summer, especially, in the heat here in California. It's like into the hundreds, in the hot 90s. It's just miserable. I don't even want to be in my truck when it's 100 degrees outside, even though you have air conditioning, just because it's miserable. I just much rather sit inside of my home with the air conditioning on, just relaxing, but, at any rate, anyways, I hope that kind of helps some people to help make a decision if they want to ride a bike or not, I know when I first did it, it was, the best thing I could have done was listen to people as to why and bring up extra points, as to why people do certain things. So, all right, guys, ride safe. Have a good one.